I cracked the muscle soreness code, and today I will share all of my knowledge and firsthand experience. If you watch the full video and apply everything, I guarantee that you'll improve your recovery and workout performance. As you may know, when you push yourself hard in the gym, the reward isn't always visible in the form of immediate strength gains or a chiseled physique. More often, you're left with that lingering, deep muscle soreness that makes even everyday activities feel like a struggle. I remember waking up for the first time after a brutal workout, and I was feeling as though every muscle in my body was screaming for help. In the beginning, I assumed that this feeling, known as delayed onset muscle soreness, was simply an unavoidable part of training hard, a badge of honor that meant I had really pushed myself. But over time, I learned that proper recovery isn't just about waiting for the pain to fade away. Instead, it's a strategic process that can accelerate healing and ultimately enable you to train even harder. My journey into effective recovery began when I started questioning my old assumptions. I used to think that if I simply powered through the pain, it would eventually subside on its own. However, I soon discovered that by neglecting proper recovery methods, I was actually hindering my progress. Excessive soreness not only dampened my motivation, but also made it harder for me to perform well in subsequent workouts, sometimes even increasing my risk of injury. Let's be real. If you feel stiff, it is close to impossible to give your best performance during a workout, which slows down your results. I don't know about you, but I definitely didn't want that to happen. Determined to change this cycle, I delved into research, experimented with various techniques, and began implementing a holistic plan, one that transformed the way I trained. At its core, muscle soreness after a workout is caused by micro tears in your muscle fibers. These tiny tears trigger an inflammatory response as your body works to repair the damage. Typically, DOMS peaks between 24 and 48 hours after exercise, leaving you stiff and sometimes even affecting your range of motion. While a certain degree is a natural indicator that your muscles are adapting and growing, prolonged or excessive soreness can be counterproductive. I realized early on that managing it was as crucial as the workout itself. Active recovery was the thing that made a significant difference in my routine. In the past, I would take complete rest on my off days, believing that inactivity was the best way to feel better, which was a huge mistake. However, I later discovered that engaging in light activities, such as a brisk walk, gentle yoga, or an easy bike ride, can enhance blood circulation and expedite the removal of metabolic waste from your muscles. I vividly recall a period after an especially intense training block when I chose to take a 2 to 3 hour walk on my rest day instead of doing nothing. The improvement was almost immediate. My muscles felt less stiff, and I was more prepared for my next workout. This active recovery not only helped me reduce soreness, but also contributed to improved overall endurance, making it a cornerstone of my strategy. Even if you apply only this, you will see at least a 50% improvement in your recovery speed. Stretching and foam rolling have become indispensable tools in my post-workout regimen as well. Initially, I viewed stretching as merely an optional extra, something to do if time allows. I soon learned that incorporating a proper stretching routine after exercise significantly reduces muscle tension and improves flexibility, which in turn alleviates soreness. I now dedicate 10 to 15 minutes after each workout to static stretching, focusing on all the major muscle groups I've worked on. Similarly, foam rolling, or self-myofascial release, has become an essential practice. Spending a few minutes rolling out tight muscles not only eases discomfort but also enhances blood flow, speeding up the repair process. Studies have shown that both stretching and foam rolling can effectively reduce DOMS and improve range of motion, making these practices vital for anyone serious about recovery. And beyond the studies, I have experienced it firsthand. However, make sure you never stretch before your workout, because it can dampen your performance. I learned this lesson early on. When I used to begin my sessions with long, static stretches, I often felt less powerful and less ready to lift. Research shows that doing it before exercise may temporarily reduce muscle strength and explosive power by loosening the muscles too much, which can lead to decreased performance and a higher risk of injury. Instead, I now opt for a dynamic warm-up that mimics the movements I'll be doing in my workout. This approach effectively activates my muscles, increases blood flow, and primes my body for the demands ahead. By transitioning to them, I've noticed a significant improvement in my strength and overall workout quality, ensuring I'm fully prepared to push my limits without compromising on safety. I remember the first time I tried a massage gun. It felt almost revolutionary. A friend recommended that I try this new tool, explaining that the rapid percussion motions could help release tension and improve blood flow. Skeptical yet hopeful, I decided to give it a try. As soon as I started using it on my calves and lower back, I felt a noticeable difference. The deep, rhythmic pulses worked their way into the muscle tissue, easing the tight knots and alleviating the persistent soreness that had been holding me back. Over time, I integrated it into my post-workout recovery routine. It became my go-to method for promoting myofascial release, breaking up adhesions and restoring mobility to muscles that had been overworked. If you only use it for 5 minutes after each workout, you will notice significant improvement the next day in terms of recovery. In my journey, I explored advanced techniques that further refined my recovery process. One such method was contrast therapy, which involves alternating between warm and cold treatments after a workout. After especially strenuous sessions, I began switching between a warm shower to relax my muscles and a quick cold shower to reduce inflammation and numb the pain. Although the shock of cold water took some getting used to, I soon found that this method significantly shortened my recovery time and made muscle soreness much more manageable. I typically spent about 2 or 3 minutes in warm water, followed by 1 to 2 minutes in cold water, a pattern that seemed to help clear lactic acid and stimulate circulation. Scientific studies support contrast therapy, suggesting that alternating temperatures can lower inflammatory markers and enhance blood flow, thereby accelerating muscle repair. Over time, incorporating this method into my routine not only improved my physical well-being, but also boosted my overall performance, making it a critical component of my comprehensive strategy. Now let's talk about the importance of hydration. In my early days, I would finish a workout and neglect to drink enough, believing a quick splash at the gym's water fountain would suffice. It wasn't long before I noticed that on days when I was less hydrated, my soreness was far more intense and lasted much longer. Proper hydration is essential because it helps flush out metabolic waste products and reduce inflammation, both of which are critical for muscle repair. Water is also an important medium for transporting nutrients to various parts of the body. This helps speed up the muscle repair process and prevents cramping, fatigue, and other symptoms linked to dehydration. On average, men generally require about 3.7 liters of total water intake per day. This includes water from both beverages and food, while women need roughly 2.7 liters daily. These general recommendations can vary depending on factors like body size, climate, exercise intensity, and personal hydration needs. For example, if you're heavily involved in intense physical activity or training, your intake needs might be higher to compensate for fluids lost through sweat. What I've found most beneficial, especially when focusing on recovery, is ensuring that I'm consistently sipping water throughout the day, especially after training. Dehydration can have a serious impact on your recovery. When you're dehydrated, your muscles are more prone to inflammation, which can increase soreness and delay recovery. Equally important is nutrition. I once skipped my post-workout meal, thinking that I could wait until my next meal without consequence. I soon learned that the window immediately after exercise is crucial for muscle repair. Consuming a balanced mix of protein and carbohydrates within 30 to 60 minutes post-workout replenishes glycogen stores and provides the amino acids necessary for repairing muscle fibers. I began having a protein shake with a piece of fruit right after my sessions, and the improvement was remarkable. My muscle soreness diminished noticeably, and I felt more energized for subsequent workouts. Numerous studies in sports nutrition support this practice, demonstrating that timely post-workout feeding enhances muscle protein synthesis and shortens the duration of DOMS. Sleep too plays a powerful role in recovery, a lesson I learned the hard way. I used to sacrifice sleep in an attempt to fit in extra training sessions, convinced that more time in the gym would yield faster progress. I eventually discovered that without adequate sleep, ideally 7 to 9 hours per night, my body couldn't repair itself properly, and my performance suffered. During sleep, the body releases vital hormones like growth hormone and testosterone, which are essential for muscle repair. Since I committed to a consistent schedule, I've noticed dramatic improvements in both my recovery and overall training performance. Scientific research consistently shows that rest deprivation impairs muscle protein synthesis and extends recovery times, making quality sleep an indispensable part of any training regimen. Stress management is another critical aspect that I once overlooked but have come to value immensely. During periods of high stress, whether due to work, personal challenges, or an overloaded schedule, I noticed that my muscle soreness was worse, and my recovery slowed down considerably. I eventually discovered that high stress levels elevate cortisol, a hormone that impairs muscle repair and can even promote fat storage. To mitigate this, I started incorporating mindfulness practices into my daily routine. I now spend at least 10 minutes each day on deep breathing exercises or meditation, and I make it a point to listen to calming music or simply enjoy quiet moments without distractions. These practices have not only lowered my cortisol levels, but have also improved my sleep quality, making my recovery process much more efficient. One of my most transformative lessons I learned was the importance of tracking my recovery. In my early days, I simply relied on my subjective feelings of soreness to gauge how well I was feeling. Eventually, I started keeping a detailed journal where I recorded not only the specifics of my workout, such as the weights, sets, and reps, but also critical metrics like sleep quality, hydration, stress levels, and overall energy throughout the day. I even took progress photos to visually document changes in my physique. This detailed tracking allowed me to identify patterns. For instance, I discovered that on days when I didn't sleep well or I was especially tired, my soreness would worsen. Recognizing these patterns enabled me to adjust my training and recovery strategies, ensuring I never overtrained and always allowed my body the rest it needed. This self-awareness was a turning point that helped me optimize my overall approach and consistently progress. Integrating recovery into my daily lifestyle was another game changer. I learned that it isn't limited to post-workout practices. It's an ongoing process that can be woven into your everyday routine. I started incorporating short mobility sessions and light stretching in the morning to wake up my muscles, as well as before bed to relax and improve circulation. Even small habits, like taking periodic breaks to stand up and move during long work hours, or enjoy a cup of herbal tea with antioxidants in the evening, helped signal my body to recover. These everyday practices, although seemingly minor, accumulated over time to create a robust environment, making me feel more energetic and less sore on a daily basis. The mental side also plays a crucial role. There were times when I felt drained, and I noticed that this mental fatigue translated into increased physical soreness and decreased performance. I began setting aside dedicated time for mental relaxation, whether it was through meditation, reading, or simply enjoying a quiet moment without distractions. I learned that when my mind was clear and stress-free, my body recovered more efficiently, and I was able to push harder during workouts. Embracing a holistic approach that included both physical and mental recovery not only improved my overall well-being, but also allowed me to maintain a more consistent and effective training regimen. Every element of your plan works synergistically to create an optimal environment for muscle repair and growth. The better you invest in recovery, the more effective your workouts will become, and the faster you'll see improvements in your performance and overall fitness. If you want to achieve a Greek god physique naturally, make sure you watch my video series where I rank the best and worst exercises for muscle building.